I'm gonna be real. I was like half right on something we talked about on the last stream. Half right. I said in this stream clip that I thought that they were going to announce and potentially shadow drop a DLC for The Witcher 3. Wine, that to me suggests that maybe it's an epilogue to Blood and Wine, which I'd be down for. Probably set at the villa or something, but we just honestly don't know much about it. We just don't. So we'll see. We'll see. DLC is $30, bro. How small is it? Well, that's the thing. People are always asking me how small it is. I don't know why they do that. But yeah, I thought on Thursday, so today, they were going to announce it and potentially even shadow drop it because the analyst originally said May was the targeted release date. And turns out my back is blown out by the log, Lamau. Oh yeah, this. Too many games right now. Like the games that are dropping are really solid. There's a butt ton of them. So much that our backlogs are bigger than they've ever been. I'm practically being blown out by my backlog. Oh, my back I remember is blown out by the log, you know? And that's where Jacob cuts it. That's pretty good. Oh, goodness. Anyway. So what happened? Well, obviously, big announcement. Medallions humming, winds blowing. Medallions humming, that can only mean one thing. It's time to announce The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Songs from the Past. This brand new expansion for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt will take you to the path with Geralt once more. It's being co-developed with Fool's Theory, and it's coming to PC, Series X and S, and PlayStation 5 in 2027. So the analyst was off by a year, but they say late summer they'll have more info. So late summer, I think like the official definition of that is like August, I believe, right? Alexa, when does summer officially end? I'm not asking Alexa, stop. It's like, well, school schedules can be different. I'm like, did I ask about school? I said summer. I didn't say summer break. I said summer. Anyway, like June 21st, I believe, is the start of summer, and then usually goes about 3 months. So it should be like August-ish. Anyway, September 21st is the official end. Okay, so it could be anywhere in August to September. Gamescom is at the end of August, so maybe Gamescom is when they're expecting to do something, which would line up and make sense. This also, big notable thing, this is exclusive to current gen consoles, even though the game launched last gen. So this means if you played the game on PS4, you need to have a PS5 to play this expansion. That also is paired with a couple of other things. So for example, with the new content coming to the game, we also need to update our system requirements to ensure smooth performance and compatibility going forward, okay? What are these changes? Well, they've upped it. So storage, I believe the original requirement was 50 gigs. New requirement is 70. 20 gig expansion? 20 gigabytes? Interesting. That makes me think it's not just it's not a small one. Also, it is now Windows 11 only, not Windows 10, and this is more because Windows stopped supporting Windows 10, and so now you just, if you want up-to-date drivers and security updates and stuff from Microsoft, you have to be on Windows 11. So I'm not really surprised they're doing this, but that is something to note as well. As for other things, I mean, it still runs on a 1660. So it's not like it's all of a sudden become incredibly difficult to run. It's just they've cranked the dials up to more modern standards, which gets me excited, honestly, that it's going to maybe have some stuff in it that pushes the boundary a little bit. But here's where the interesting little tidbit is at the very end. Look at this. We originally planned to make this big reveal during our Red streams tomorrow, which would have been today, Thursday. But let's just say we found something we didn't expect on Red Launcher. So they accidentally had it leak early in their launcher, and so then they had to reveal it early through social media. But our original prediction was right, that they were going to, the plan was to reveal it today, and then something happened. So I'd take half credit. It's not like it was a particularly crazy prediction, let's be honest. I mean, it was like... There's a rumored DLC. Out of nowhere, they announce a celebration of the game, and this is what it is. But anyway, it's very, very exciting. The idea that now, when it launches, it will be 12 years after the original launch. 12 years. 12. How insane is that? Like, that's ridiculous. Very, very exciting. Now, there are some theories going on, okay? There's a couple of little tidbits, little theories that I want to point out. So to be clear, I didn't spot these. There were people all over social media that were talking about this. So I honestly don't know who the first one to discover this stuff was. So whoever was, you get credit. I just don't know who it was. The first thing is that people started looking at, for example, the swords that we saw on the back of Ciri in the initial like Epic Games Engine whatever trailer, and then also the official trailer that's of course cinematic, but still gives you a little bit of an idea. People were looking at like equipment designs and stuff like that, trying to see if there was something that lined up potentially. Specifically the design of her sword. Oh, that's the shot. That's the shot. Okay, so what we're looking at specifically is this little design on the sword where it kind of comes down, dips, flat line across, and then dips back up. People looked at that and then compared it to the sword that Geralt is holding, and the I always forget what this is called. The scabbard, whatever it is, the sheath for the sword. You can see it looks to me very, very similar, if not identical. There are some slight changes. The shaft, the shaft. Stare at the shaft with me. So it looks to me very, very similar. It is slightly different because this has like, it looks like a little bitty dip in it, whereas the other one right here, it looks, I mean, maybe there's a little dip there, or here it looks like it comes out a little bit, but it's similar-ish. I don't know. So some people are saying it's the same sword, and maybe this is like Geralt is using the sword that he's going to pass on to Ciri or something. I don't know. Swords are similar, but also swords kind of generally look similar to each other, so possibly. The other thing people are highlighting and looking at specifically, it's not really a lesson. If somebody knows like mythology in Europe better than I, if this is the name of a very particular creature, please let me know. But what's interesting is that it looks to be like a creature that's been possessed or overrun by wood and roots and everything, maybe just entirely made of it, if not just like a cursed human that's been distorted. But specifically, it looks like these vines or branches are restraining and like chaining the creature to the walls as well. You can see this arm is like bound and twisted around, and it looks like it's trying to get to Geralt, but can't because of the restrictions and restraints. So it makes me wonder if we're gonna get to go through a haunted forest. I think that'd be cool. Dryad, maybe, I'm not sure, with his wooden crown of thorns. It does, so it kind of looks like a crown, specifically because of the brow, but it could also just be like distorted. You know how some creature designs do that? They'll like distort eyebrows and stuff. I'm not sure, but either way, it's a very cool design and it's very interesting. It also looks like there's a cavity in the chest where maybe dare I say a weak point could be for combat. The other thing is that, and what makes me think that this possibly is like a special sword that he's going to give to Ciri specifically, is that he has 3 swords. He still has his 2 on his back, and then he has this one in his hands that's of course not mounted. So I think that this sword is very, very important to the story of whatever is happening on here. The name also, Songs of the Past, I mean, that probably is communicating that either they're going to do a lot of backstory exploration for Ciri or for Geralt. Now, the fact that Ciri is not shown in the artwork shows, I think, that this is primarily, you know, a Geralt gameplay experience, but I do think that there's going to be some backstory exploration. Now, what we expect is that this is going to be a basically bridging of the end of Witcher 3, specifically Blood and Wine, and Witcher 4, because we don't know how we get here. You know, this is technically a demo, but you know, we don't know how we get from the end of Geralt's time in Toussaint to here. Like what are the pieces that connect the dots? I'm not sure. And I'm sure they have that planned out. They have that written out, and they just were like, hey, a cool way to celebrate the launch of Witcher 4 and to set that up and get people excited again is to just do a smaller bite-sized DLC. Bite-sized meaning potentially, you know, 20 hours or more, and then get people back into the franchise that way. Because again, this is what's crazy to think about. Okay, there were people who were toddlers when The Witcher 3 launched who will be able to drive when The Witcher 4 releases. So, people that were just starting like kindergarten who will be able to vote when Witcher 4 launches. Okay? So, whenever we're talking about like a big sequel like this, bro, what? Yeah, literally. That's me. Glad to have you, Unicary. I'm glad to have you. But this is the point, is that for people that played this back in 2015, we're like, oh God, finally. I can't wait. I'll replay it. I'm so excited. But there is a literal generation of players that have never gotten to experience The Witcher 3 because it came before their time, right? As much as it pains us to say, they see Geralt and they go, oh, Geralt from Fortnite, okay? Like, for a lot of people out there, that's their exposure to The Witcher. And so by doing a DLC or a remaster, a remake, that's a great way to reintroduce the franchise to people who may not be familiar with it, right? It's the same reason why Bethesda wants to do like Fallout remakes and remasters before the Fallout 4 or Fallout 5, because Fallout 5 will come out roughly 20 years after Fallout 4, which is insane to think about, that you could be born when Fallout 4 was announced and you'll be able to drink legally in the US by the time the sequel launches, which is insane, but that's just how it is. So remakes, remasters, DLCs, expansions, stuff like that, TV shows, those are great ways to bring the franchise back into the discussion and back and like expose it to people that are not familiar with it otherwise. So something like this makes a lot more sense when you look at it, I think, through that lens, as opposed to looking at it through the lens of somebody who played the original game and loves it and has for a very long time. It's I think sometimes we can get stuck looking at things just through our lens, and then it's like, why are they doing a DLC? Like, this kind of came out of nowhere. But when you back up and look at the whole board, it kind of starts to click together and make sense. Now, as for overall scope and scale and what they're doing, there's no information on it here. So the analyst, and to be clear, when people are saying that it's going to be $30 or $40 or it's going to be 20 hours or 30 hours, most of that is coming from an industry analyst who was looking at the books, how much money basically was being spent on the project, and then was inferring from that how much they're probably going to charge and how big it probably is based on dev time, resources, all of that. He was guessing it was, for one, going to be done and releasing this month, which obviously is not true. And he also thought it was going to launch at $30. So clearly he was right that the DLC was happening. The other pieces of the puzzle he was off on. It's going to take a year longer, and pricing is still up in the air. It could end up being like totally free. It could end up being $20 or $30. We're not really sure. I think the thing is, if you go in and you price it at 30, the comparisons are going to be brought against it with like Phantom Liberty. That's kind of what people will expect in terms of scale. Probably an entirely new region, 15 to 25 hours of gameplay. That's what people expect for a $30 expansion. If you only do $20, then maybe you have like a little more wiggle room. But they also could announce like any day or any hour or minute information on all of this, because as we've seen, they're actively doing stuff. So you just never know. In the live stream, they compared it to Blood and Wine. Okay. Hold on. I want to see, there's a lot of like slop videos. Dude, I searched it and it's like filled with like those AI videos of like, this is the latest gaming news, and it's just a robot talking. Here it is. Ended 27 minutes ago. Okay. Here's the stream. Hold on, please hold. Do they have the transcript up yet? They don't. Does anyone have a rough timestamp when they mention that? It's just like 5 minutes from the end. Okay. Well, let's look about 5 minutes from the end. Let's see. You ready? Let's see. Thank you guys for letting me know. Okay, ready? Unmute. Professional streamer. Here we go.
It's called Songs of the Past. You saw it online yesterday, but if you haven't, pay attention, because yes, we are officially working on the third expansion. It's called Songs of the Past. We're co-developing that with our friends from Fool's Theory. It's releasing next year, 2027, and it's coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X, and PCs.
Now, we know that you have so many questions. Yesterday, we were really flooded with them, and we appreciate it immensely. We're not going to go into too much of it right now because we want to share more with you when the time is right, and you are going to hear more in late summer. But for now, we wanted to answer some of the more pressing questions that have come up for us.
Okay.
So the first question would be, are you still releasing cross-platform mod support for The Witcher 3?
And happy to say, really easy answer for us. The answer is
no.
Yes. We are still working away on it. We don't have anything to share with you today, but rest assured, it is coming.
It is coming. So, second question.
Yes.
What is Songs of the Past about?
Okay, so we won't give too much away right now again because we want you to experience it when you play. But
Well, specifically saying we want you to experience it makes me think that they're not going to reveal hardly any info about this story. Like, I don't know. I'm okay with that, to be clear. I'm okay if they go radio silent forever, okay? And they just shadow drop. I would have been okay with a shadow drop, honestly. I was braced for that, and that's kind of what I was hoping for, frankly. I want more shadow drops, honestly. I miss the excitement. I miss the heart palpitations when you see something that blew your mind, and then it's like, it's playable now. I love that. But yeah, I mean, they don't need to tell me anything. I'm on board.
as a few eagle-eyed people have already seen over the last 24 hours, there are some hints for you waiting on a very important evening in Witcher lore, Belleton Night, in our Belleton celebration that we shared a few weeks ago. So keep looking for clues.
Yeah, maybe we missed something. Who knows? Question number 3.
Okay.
How big the Songs of the Past?
Okay. So, Songs of the Past will be aligned with what you're familiar with Blood and Wine.
Blood and Wine, you say? Dude, Blood and Wine, one of the best. I'm biased because I love it, but in my opinion, Blood and Wine is one of the best, like, for a single player game, DLC expansions, like, ever made. It's so good. It feels so different from the base game too, which makes it stand out. It has a ton of content as well. It's all super high production value. It's so good.
And what you've come to experience and expect from us when we do our expansions.
Which more recently was Phantom Liberty, which was phenomenal. So that's good. Veiny, yes. Yeah, that's pretty much. I would have been fine if they were like, hey, it's 5 hours, it's just a narrative thing. I would have been okay with that, assuming it wasn't like $50 or something. But hearing that it's Blood and Wine, it's similar to what you would expect from our other expansions. Like, that is checking box. They're not exactly lowering expectations, you know? Like, they're kind of cranking the dials.
So it's expansion pack.
It's an expansion. Let's be clear.
You know, I just want to shout out that as a person not working on this, I'm super excited. I just can't wait. And of course, it's very exciting to see how, again, after all these years, it's still this much love and passion for Geralt and the world. It's just insane. So great job. Can't wait.
For sure. I am going to hit Amelia with a couple of questions now that, again, pressing in the community. Amelia, will there be new Gwent cards in Songs of the Past?
Is Pavel Burza here? Ryan Skull here?
Man, he's not down there.
I mean, guys, Witcher 3 equals Gwent, more Gwent coming. Simple as that.
Hell yeah.
More Gwent.
I have a confession to make. My first playthrough, I didn't really make much with Gwent. I didn't really spend much time on it. I was in the zone with all the other stuff. I didn't spend that much time on it. Dude, in subsequent playthroughs, I don't remember which run through it was. Whether it was like, 2016, 17, 18 or whatever it was. But I remember I was like, okay, this time I'm going to play it and I'm going to focus on Gwent and I'm going to like collect all the cards and stuff. Bro, I lost my life. It's like, it's very complimentary to the core gameplay loop too, because a lot of the best like Gwent cards are tied to vendors or are tied to NPCs in big cities and stuff. So it actually helps you explore and find more stuff when you're engaging with Gwent and you're playing everybody. It's you just have to kind of turn your brain off sometimes, because sometimes you're like, I have to find Ciri, she's missing and she's in danger. Care for a quick game? You can't really think about it too much. Otherwise, you'll just never play. But honestly, I love me some Gwent, and I have it down here. I don't know if I have it in the studio, but I do have like a big collector's set that they did for Gwent. Actually, I come to think of it, I'm not sure if it was, I don't think it was official. I think I got it off Etsy. Somebody was making it. But anyway, yeah, I love me some Gwent. I encourage you guys, if you've never engaged with Gwent, give it a shot. I was not a believer at first, and then it got its hooks in me.
Pavel, I guess.
We'll see if he's up for more Gwent.
And another thing that came up
Dude,
quite
the
a bit
music.
yesterday, which was cool, was why does Geralt have 3 swords?
That's a good question.
So yes,
I also just realized, look at her earrings. How cool are those?
Why does Geralt
They're like full swords, dude. That's cool.
have 3 swords?
So yes, Geralt is holding a sword. It is a very important sword for the story, and you will get to know it once the game is out. So just, few more.
Chill the hell out is what you're saying, basically. Fair. But yes, as expected, okay, the sword's very important.
Streams before that when you guys revealed it.
Awesome.
Few more
So-
streams.
I think once again, to everybody, thank you so much for all of the messages. We truly have been noting down all of the questions that have been coming through. A lot of them, we're not going to spoil anything just yet. So please stay tuned until late summer when we will share more. But I guess on this note, that's kind of it for us for today. So Casper, Magda.
So ready. I'm so ready for this. Add an AK-47. This isn't Ubisoft. When are you gonna add the AK-47 DLC to Witcher 4 or Witcher 3, please? Yes. Okay. 32 minutes ago, literally. I just 2 minutes before we went live. That's why I didn't see it. Wind's howling, and it's taking us to Gamescom in Cologne. Come join us in the entertainment area where we will be showing songs of the past. See you on the path. Dude, I might need to go to Gamescom now. I might need to go to Gamescom. I'm already gonna be in Europe for like 2.5 weeks in August, and now I might need to be there for another week. Honestly, like, oh baby, that's pretty great. That's pretty great. Oh man. So anyway, it's happening. It's real. Buckle up, buckaroo. It's happening. 12 years after its launch, we will be getting another DLC. 11 years after the last DLC, we will be getting another expansion. And they're comparing it to Blood and Wine, which would put it somewhere in the realm of like 20 to 40 hours of content, new zone, new areas. Pretty remarkable. And I'm just so here for it, because again, I was braced, and the old saying is like, lower your expectations, you can never be disappointed, and generally I hold to that. And so I was mentally like preparing for it to be like, it's a new DLC quest, it's like an hour long, and it just kind of connects the dots. It's like Geralt gets a letter, and then he goes and collects a bouquet to send to Ciri. It's something like silly and small like that. I was not braced for it to be this massive and this ridiculous, but man, watch the very end. Oh, is there more? Oh, they said they were done, but if there's more,
But
I
Magda,
like more.
do you have final words for our 10th anniversary of Blood and Wine?
I would just like to say thank you for having me here, because like I mentioned, I'm always, just scribbling away and doing blocks on the screen, and it's so easy to forget who are you actually making all this for. So it's so nice to have the questions to, because it's, you know, it's so important to remember that what you're doing is actually for the people and somebody's going to enjoy it, because it gives me like so much energy to keep working. So thank you.
Thank you.
Same for me. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I've been away from the Witcher's world for a bit, so it was really nice to get back here, even for this small, brief moment. Thank you, Madge and the crew, for working on the new stories to tell in this universe. It's great. And for me, it was just insane to kind of get back to the song for even a couple of minutes. I feel like I'm gonna have to find some time to play the game again. Yeah, it was great. And of course, a huge shout out to the whole crew that worked on The Witcher 3 and Blood and Wine, and now the crew that is making the new stories for us, which is, again, great. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah. So, while we don't have anything new to show you guys for Songs of the Past, when we leave you today, we want to give you a taste of one of the tracks that you will be hearing when you play Songs of the Past. And Amelia, do you have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, and as we already said, more information about Songs of the Past will be coming late summer, and you will be seeing more of the expansion at Gamescom this year, at the entertainment area. So if you don't have plans, now you do. All right, so,
Absolutely.
you know, we're done here, guys. So thank you very much for
Thank you
being
so much.
today with us.
Cheers.
Let's toast
Cheers
for the
to 10 years, guys.
10 years.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Play the song. Do the roar. Feels witchery. Sure does. Yeah, to wrap all of this up in a word, throbbing. You know, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Okay. That was good. Thank you guys for who watched that stream, who could call out and be like, hey, go back and check it out. Final little tidbits, just so you know. Cyberpunk announced Song of the Past 3rd expansion, set to launch in 2027. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt has now passed 65 million cumulative sales threshold. 65 million copies sold of The Witcher 3. That's madness. But that is where they officially are. That's where they officially are. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. There you go. It's always funny because it's like, how do these big companies stay afloat and can take so many years between projects? It's because of stuff like that. When you have a hit, it just never stops selling. Like, I even saw a clip from an indie developer who was like, yeah, my game released like 4 years ago, and last month I made like 95,000. This month I made like 112,000. And it's like, that'll do for real.